You've started to understand this one, haven't you, HD?
Yeah, I'm working on my Pashtun, and I think he was just asking Nawaz to bowl the ball a little wider. Feels he's been a bit straight.
Well done. You're getting there.
Thank you.
Some people are quick learners and cerebral, and HD is one of them.
He's got the two men behind point, saving one. That's there for that shot that Dhananjaya De Silva plays so well, the late cut, and see the line that's being bowled here. Oh, that's beautifully bowled. Nice flight, and bounced and it turned.
That's a good thinking, because he exposes his stumps and plays those dabs and late cuts from the stumps. And if you bowl the deliveries wide, you're asking him to reach for them. Might work for Pakistan.
Been a good innings by Dhananjaya De Silva. He came to the wicket when the game was, I won't say evenly poised. Sri Lanka was still well on top, but they had lost wickets a little bit quicker than what they would have wanted, and they were 5 down with a lead of around 260, and Valalage would have been the next man walking to the wicket. So it needed a partnership, needed the captain to play well, Dhananjaya to play well, and he's threatened. Dhananjaya De Silva, he's certainly threatened, and now he's unbeaten on 77, 283 for 7. The good one, 126. Just didn't get away, just couldn't get away from Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and then Dhananjaya De Silva and the captain came together. The first century partnership of the test match between Dhananjaya De Silva and Karunaratne, and of the series for that matter, has ensured that Sri Lanka now in a real position of strength, and everyone sits on the edge of their seat waiting for that moment when the declaration comes.
You're furthering your point where you said that Pakistan will be happier if Sri Lanka keeps on batting. They wouldn't mind if they go beyond lunch and bat for an hour after lunch. And to make sure it happens, what they need to do is have Dhananjaya batting at 87 at lunch. If they can't get him out, the captain will have to provide him with an opportunity to get 100. That's what Babar Azam and Pakistani bowlers need to do. If, I'll reiterate, can't get him out.
There's about 10 minutes left here till lunch, so I think they'd also be rushing between their overs. Might say, well, let's get 3 in here, and if we can get just the 3 in, that'll ensure that Dhananjaya doesn't get to that 100, and we put Karunaratne and Chris Silverwood in a position where they either have to break the bad news to Dhananjaya or let him go out and try and get that 100.
And he's been waiting for a test match 100 for a long time, Dhananjaya. They might feel the need to oblige him with an opportunity.
A long time ago since he got that 100. 13 innings. And that 100 was here. It was against the West Indies here in Gaul. 155 last year. They won that series, Sri Lanka.
You were there, HD. You witnessed that. Moves to 79. Running hard to be there on 79. It's 289 for 7.
Test match that's been dominated by Sri Lanka. Pakistan have had their moments, but in its entirety, it really has been a test match that's been dominated by the home side. They'll want to finish it off. Robert Jayasuriya with his pads on, but I think that the whole of Sri Lanka will be hoping that he contributes more with ball in hand than bat.
Yeah, Pakistan was good in patches, but not consistently. That's why they are far behind in this test match.
No great rush here from the fielding side at the moment. Field is spread, couple of catches, but most find themselves on the boundary. Might be a very different looking field when Pakistan walk out to bat. Might be a little bit. Imam Ulak still diving around, so that's good from an effort perspective. Yeah, when Pakistan come out to bat, there might be a few more around the bat catching and less on the boundary.
So you are suggesting we won't be seeing plenty of fielders at the boundary line, which was the case in the last test match?
Well, the beauty of having a lead of 437 is if someone dances down the wicket and hits you back over your head, you don't have to alter the field. You can let him take that chance again. I think it's a real luxury being a captain when you've got 430 to defend. It becomes tricky when you've got 230 to defend. That's when it brings out all your tactical nous.
Talking about captaincy, Dhananjaya didn't do bad as a stand-in captain in the first innings. Marshaled the resources quite well. Usage of the bowlers was very good, and field placing miscued his run-up.
A little bit of turn here. A little bit of turn from outside that off stump. 290 for 7.
Babar Azam bowling only 1 over in this innings. In my opinion, Noman was underused in this innings. He looked very threatening, bowling in those rough areas.
Right, does that stroke send a message that he requires 18 runs? You're probably going to get another over in after this. Come on, Dhananjaya, 18, that's 3 big ones. Straight down the ground. the opposite.
Well, the field, there's plenty of time to pick up 10 wickets in this test match. Oh! Close.
That's a big inside edge. Otherwise, right in front.
He's getting the ball to turn sharply. Salman Ali Agha showing his prowess with the ball. Yeah, thin inside edge onto the pad.
You just have this feeling Pakistan going through the motions here, just trying to get themselves to lunch. They're in no big rush. They've almost surrendered to the fact that they not bowl Sri Lanka out, and if they do, it'll be through Sri Lanka giving it away rather than being bowled out. There's a new ball that'll be due. That's 80 overs gone, 296 for 7.
Last over है.
Probably the last over before lunch. Yeah, one felt Pakistan was in the game. They picked up the 5th wicket, and after that, 2 changes made by Babar Azam didn't make any sense and has cost Pakistan big time by removing Naseem Shah after just 3 overs in the last session of day 3, and then introduced himself to bowl. Wasn't a bright idea. And from there on, things have changed.
Okay. Where are we after lunch? That's the next question I need to ask. We're going to try and pry that out of you.
I said 87 not out. Will work well for Pakistan. Where will we be after lunch? We'll be in goal, that's for sure. Tempted, HT.
I am pickish, that's for sure. 4 deliveries remaining. So my prediction is that Sri Lanka will walk out to bat again after lunch. The declaring before lunch hasn't happened. There's the declaring at lunch, that's still an option. But Dhananjaya De Silva is 84 not out. It's been 13 innings since he's got a test match 100. He's played beautifully. He deserves 100. But it's just whether the captain and the management decide that is that time required to bowl out Pakistan, or can we afford to give Dhananjaya that opportunity? As a batter, I know that you would feel, please can you declare at lunch? Give me that chance to have a bite, have a shower, put on some fresh clothes, and I'm ready to go out there and face the music. Don't declare and give me 10 minutes, then I'm in a rush. You've had to do that before as an opening batter.
So many connotations.
It's over and lunch.
Right, gentlemen, the bails will be removed. Lunch will be called. And it was Kumar Sangakkara against India here in Gaul who declared when Ranganaherath was unbeaten on 80. So will Dimuth Karunaratne do the same to Dhananjaya De Silva? Or will he allow him an opportunity to get what would be a richly deserved 100? He's played quite